You don't need to be born wealthy to build wealth. Lee Yoder, 5 years ago, was a physical therapist. Now he manages a $50 million real estate portfolio. In this conversation, he talks about how he escaped the employee swimming pool, proving that you can too. Let's go talk to Lee. Often in life, we look at the life that we want to live and we think it's outside of our reach. Due to bad luck or due to not having connections or not having sufficient money to start, we think that the life we dream about is outside of our reach. Well, today, I'm lucky enough to talking to Lee Yoder, the founder of Threefold REI, who's showing us that it is very possible to leave a normal career and start doing something that you really aspire to. Lee, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, Will, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
So Lee, you have an interesting background. You were a physical therapist.
Yep.
But then in about 2020, you decided to make the switch over to a general partner real estate syndicator. That is a huge change, especially for somebody with such a long academic career, chasing your doctorate in physical therapy.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through what was it that led you from the stable physical therapist world into doing something that's very risky and very much up to you to make a success?
Yeah, so I got to take you back a little bit. So yeah, made that move in 2020. Going back to 2016 is when I started thinking about that. So you're right. I say, a lot of your listeners, I'm sure, have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I probably read that in 2015 or 2016. And when I read that, I realized oh, wow, I'm definitely going the poor dad route. In that, a lot of education and getting to the job and just, how can I be a good employee and rise in the ranks? Yeah, I went to school. You have to get your doctorate in physical therapy now. So I did 7 years of college. Came out within a couple years. I was doing home health physical therapy. But then I got on with a company out of Cincinnati here where I live, Cincinnati, Ohio. And it was actually a staffing company. They brought me on as a physical therapist, but it was a startup company. So I pretty quickly became the clinical director and I'm managing the therapists in the field. And because it was a startup, I was really helping build a division of this company. And I love that work. So I was actually doing no hands-on actual physical therapy. I was just managing the therapist, but I was doing sales. I was doing operations type stuff. Again, just kind of building this division for this startup company. And I love that. And I felt I think this is what God made me to do, not be a physical therapist. I didn't miss being a physical therapist at all. So worked for that company for a few years, 1 year kind of as a physical therapist, 2 years as the clinical director, and then kind of moving into a director of operations role. And they were moving me toward a promotion. This was pre-COVID and there was a lot of in-office time. And my wife and I were starting our family at the time. And man, while I was at work, I loved it, but it just didn't fit what my wife and I really felt like we wanted our life to look like and maybe what God was calling us to for our family. So I started to think man, maybe this company isn't my long term, even though I'm really enjoying the work. So I thought, is my option really to go back to doing work? Because when I was just doing home health physical therapy, I'm this is great for my family, but it's not challenging for me. It's not fulfilling. It's not exciting. Then I'm working for this startup company, very challenging, exciting, fulfilling, not great for my family. So I thought, is that really my choice? Did I have to pick one of these? And so that's, gets the gears turned. I start reading books, start networking with people, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And for me, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Will, we were talking a little bit before, and I think you have kind of the same mindset. Rich Dad, Poor Dad told me there is a completely different game that some other people are playing. I didn't even realize was an option. I felt I'm pretty sure I want to play that game, not the game I'm playing. And those two games being, the game I was playing was just the climb the corporate ladder game, being an employee. Yeah. You called it the employment pool. Yep. Yeah, just that concept this is what everybody does. You get a job. You hope it's a really good job. If you do as well as you can, you rise, you hopefully get a 3% raise, maybe you get a 5% raise, put a bunch away, all that stuff. Yeah. Maybe you become a director. I was moving toward a director of operations role. I figured out there's these people playing a completely different game where they don't work for anybody. They own their own business. They do their own thing. And one thing I really liked about that, Will, the more I learned about it, I thought, because I love to work. I really enjoy working. So it wasn't really that I was trying to work less hours. It was that I was trying to control it more. Because when I was with this startup company, I started getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I thought if I can hustle and work while my kids are sleeping, then I get to both be a great employee and also be a great dad and a great husband. And my employer liked that, but it didn't mean I got to go home earlier. So that's what I didn't like. It's I want to get up early in the morning and work because I love to work. I'm fine with like turning my computer back on in the evening. I'm fine. I mean, I would get up, I might sleep in a little bit, but I'd get up by 5 on Saturday and Sunday and work. And I enjoy doing that. But it feels different when you're doing that for someone. They're like, yeah, but you still got to be here till 6 in the evening. Then I'm missing dinner, you know? So it felt like, man, this other game, you get to work really hard and like, you just see more fruits of your own labor because you're building it for yourself. And so I didn't really know if all this was true or like if this was a real thing, but that's what that did for me. It just opened my eyes to like, there is a completely different game. And the more you know, take that red pill or whatever, however you want to describe it, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so you start meeting people. I mean, you know, a good friend of mine at church, I was like, he's in real estate full time, you know, go to lunch with him. Find out like, yeah, he works for himself. He owned at the time, I think like 35 rentals, full time, doing very well, flipping some houses as well, like built this company. He's got guys, you know, they're flipping houses, but they're turning his units, you know, and he's just got this whole business, not making a ton of money at the time. He is today, you know, because he just stayed in it, right? And that stuff it just multiplies, compounds, exactly. But at the time he was doing plenty well enough, like, he just had he got to work really hard, got to work on stuff he wanted, got to kind of control his time. And so the more I saw into that, I'm like, this is a real thing. There are people doing this, and I think I want to do this. So, Will, I decided in 2016, I said, I'm going to quit my job here, this corporate job, go back to doing home health physical therapy. Because one thing that buddy of mine from church told me, and I think this is important for your audience if people are looking to get into it, he said, Lee, is there any way you could make your job more flexible? Like, could you work from home? Because what he was able to do was, I think he was selling insurance at the time. He was kind of out on his own doing that. And as long as he was kind of hitting his numbers, his employer didn't really care that he was in the office a bunch or really how many hours a day he was working. So he was able to do that, but then do real estate on the side and get it going while he had a full-time job until he had enough to quit that full-time job. So he's like, Lee, can you do something like that? Well, with my current employer, absolutely not. I mean, like I said, I was already getting up in the mornings and they're like, yeah, you still got to be here till 6, you know, or 5:30 or whatever it was. But home health physical therapy, I definitely had that ability. So that's why I decided if I go back to doing home health physical therapy, that job, I was maybe working 40 hours a week. Okay. And once I was done, I was done. So evenings and weekends are totally mine. Get up early in the morning. It's all my time. Like, I didn't have extra work. And also it wasn't a stressful job. Like, it was, and then I'm driving around a lot. So when it comes to calling realtors or brokers, calling bankers, I can do a lot of that. Even just listening to podcasts, learning more, listening to audiobooks, plenty of time for that. So I'm like, I think this is a great job to go back to, make good enough money to support us, but have a lot of extra time to start a real estate side hustle. And I think that's, you know, more relevant today, Will, because again, that was pre-COVID. Today, there's more people than ever working from home and kind of having that flexibility where maybe you can hustle 6 hours a day, maybe 7 hours a day, get your work done, give yourself a couple hours each day to go flip a house, to buy a duplex and rent it out, flip a building and turn it into an Airbnb. So those things. So that's what I decided to do. At the end of 2016, I did that. Now I took about a 30% pay cut. So another important thing I'd tell your audience is, you know, I tell people, I left that job in 2016. We'll get into this, but in 2017, I flipped a house. But Will, the reason I was able to take a 30% pay cut is because I was living below my means. That 30% pay cut did not mean that my wife and I had to change our standard of living at all, because we were living 30% below my pay. And my wife at the time she's a nurse. She was working PRN. So once every week or two. So we keep that, but like, it's mostly my income. So 30% is a big deal, but because we were living below our means, we were able to do that. So sometimes to get out of the employee pool, sometimes you need to set yourself up to do that. And we did that. And that was over a long period of time. I mean, we bought a house that was a fixer-upper. We put 20% down. We were in a good spot living below our means to take this leap, take a pay cut, but knowing that, but this is something that if we can get this going, our future could look much brighter. But we were able to do that because we set ourselves up financially to be able to do that. So anyway, I'll stop there, but that's what, you know, kind of the thought process behind it and what led me to want to get into real estate. And then kind of the plan behind it was, go back to a job that had flexibility and start a real estate side hustle.
I'm impressed with how intentional you were about your choices. You had moved a lot of pieces in place to make sure that you could succeed. You had lived below your means. You found a way to, how can I change my job so I have more free time so I can be working on flipping houses? The part I don't understand is, why was real estate your path out of the institutional?
Well, the first part, most of that's only because I'm married. So if I wasn't married, I wouldn't have been nearly as intentional. But for one, I mean, you got kids, you got to think about them. And then my wife is constantly like asking me questions like, have you thought about this enough? And I'm like, okay, probably not. So that helps. Yes, that helps. A couple reasons it ended up speaking to me. My dad's in construction. So I grew up around construction. The summers when I was off in college, I would do construction. A lot of times when people think about real estate, first thing they'll think about is flipping a house. So when I thought about flipping a house, I'm like, I can do a lot of the work. My dad could help me do some of the work. Even my father-in-law is super handy. So I was like, I got some skills myself. I got some people. I like working hard. I like working with my hands. Some things I learned about real estate was like when I started learning about underwriting and I love math. I love Excel spreadsheets. So it wasn't my first thing, Will. It was more, again, you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, he definitely talks about real estate, but he talks about business. So I kind of looked around and it just seemed like, as I looked at the different businesses, real estate just made the most sense to me.
Okay.
When I thought about owning a house, I know it's a tired phrase, but it's because it's true. People have to have a place to live. So that to me was just like, this just makes sense. I thought if Hannah and I buy a house in Lebanon, the town we live in, somebody's going to want to live there. If they don't, we're paying off 2 mortgages.
Yeah.
Even that makes sense because at least like you're gaining equity. You're paying off a mortgage. Over time, house values go up because our government devalues the currency. So it just, the more I learned about it, everything made sense. So I definitely read books, looking at other stuff. I am the opposite of tech savvy. So anything online, any internet businesses, all that seems so overwhelming to me. I don't have those skills, but like hands-on stuff like real estate, it seemed like it fit me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like you did a good job of self-assessing what you were comfortable with as well as what you had experience with. And you mentioned earlier you had a connection that had succeeded fairly well in real estate. So that helped. You got kind of a mentor, somebody you could
absolutely
look to.
Yeah.
So far in the conversation, you've talked about your transition from physical therapy into doing some house flips. But what the audience may not know yet is that Threefold REI now manages over like $50 million assets under management. Is that about right?
Yeah.
So $50 million in 5 years. Lee, that is impressive growth trajectory. Can you walk us through, how did you go from talking about flipping houses or owning single family real estate into a business big enough to be managing $50 million in assets?
Yeah, it's when you say it, it's hard for me to believe. I would say apart from God, it was impossible because it just doesn't make sense. But the things that we did, again, a lot of credit to my wife. And this is where, sometimes it's super frustrating to me to have my wife as a partner. It's even more frustrating for her to have me as a partner, especially in this business. But it was God's design for sure, because it just works really well in that she is much more risk adverse and wants to be very intentional, very thoughtful. I am like, we'll build the parachute on the way down. We're gonna figure it out. So it does work out well. It's just difficult.
Yeah.
There's a lot of head strain. Yes. But what's been neat about it is like the whole time I've not thought we're moving fast enough. Like, why aren't we moving faster? My wife feels like I'm dragging her at 100 miles an hour. But when I look back, even though the whole time I've not thought we were moving fast enough, I can't believe how much we've done. And that's what's neat about something that compounds, like investing. If you're strategic, if you don't have missteps, if you kind of keep taking the next step, it's really incredible how compound growth works. And my story is just that. We flipped one house. We made money on it. We made the money back that I took in a pay cut from that job. Oh. So it was kind of this perfect picture that flipping is not investing. Flipping is just a different way of trading your time for money. Yeah. Now, it is real estate and I like it. And it was a great way for us to get started. So I don't regret it at all. But you're just trading your time for money, because I took a pay cut. We made, and I went to a job that was awesome for my family, not busy. But then I added a flip on top of that job. So I'm just as busy as I was when I had that busy W-2 job. And I made back the money that I lost. And it's like the same thing, right? It's just 2 jobs instead of one, making the same amount of money. And then the flip's gone and you have nothing left. And it's just, you have that money you made, but then you got nothing. So it's like, my wife was like, well, that's not what you sold me on. That's not passive income. That's not residual income. It didn't improve our lives any. You were just as busy, all those things. And I was like, you're right. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, what's the next step? And so kind of the next logical step was a duplex or a quad. And we happened to find a duplex. We found that that flip was an online auction. This duplex was the county auction here where I live. So we did a duplex next. That was basically a flip. But in that one, Will, you flip it because it was vacant. So we renovated both units fully, got 2 renters in. And now it's like, oh, this, and in my life's like, this is more what we talked about. Also, we gained some contractors. So it was just a lot less of me. So everything about that duplex went better. And then you get renters in there and it's like, the renters are paying for all the expense, like their income, the income we're making off their rent, paying for all the expenses, including a mortgage, and we have money left over. This is investing.
That's the way it works.
This is what I've been reading about. These are the podcasts I've been listening to. It's that proof of concept. And it's like, as long as we keep these rented, we're going to make money for the rest of our lives as long as we own this thing. This is awesome. Now, it's $400 a month. It was about $200 per unit in profit. $400 a month. That's great on a duplex, but that's $4,800 a year.
That's not life changing.
No, it's not. Even if we did 10, 48 grand a year, I'm not quitting my job. 20, 96. Yeah, I can quit my job. I don't want to do 20 duplexes. By this time, well, like I said, I'm constantly listening to podcasts, and the guys and girls that I identify with, they were doing bigger multifamily. And what I felt like I was figuring out from what they were telling me was, if you want to build a business, you're probably going to do bigger properties. And I felt like that's what I wanted to do. I really felt like I wanted to build a business around it, not just be a solopreneur investor, hobbyist. Yeah. And I wanted to do this full time. So this whole time I still have a full-time job. I joined the RIA in Cincinnati, the Real Estate Investors Association. Almost every city has it. There was a guy there, Mark, doing a focus group within the RIA, and it was called apartment investing. So he starts teaching us how to underwrite. He had gone and done one of the courses. He had bought a 25 unit and a 40 unit. So not a ton of experience, but infinitely more than me, who had 0. And he had been trained on it a little bit. So he started teaching us, this is how you find properties. Get on loopnet.com. Maybe you can find some smaller ones on realtor.com or Zillow. And then here's like a really simple Excel spreadsheet where you can plug some numbers in and it'll tell you if it's going to be profitable or not. And so I started doing that again, because I was like, this is what I want to get into. And I found a 16 unit on LoopNet, and I take it to Mark and I'm like, here's my underwriting. I did all the work. And I said, what do you think of this? And he's like, I think you did a good job underwriting. I think your numbers are right. And I said, so the underwriting's like, it tells you this is what you're going to offer if you want these results. And so I'm like, okay, what do I do? And he goes, well, here's the LOI I use. Put an offer. Yeah. So offer on a 16 unit. I get my offer accepted. He helps me kind of through the negotiations. I give Mark 10% of the deal just for helping me, and because I kind of wanted him to stay so he could kind of continue holding my hand. And we got into that. And I was really off to the race after that. There's a guy that has a multifamily podcast. His name's Michael Blanc. I forget how to say his last name. He calls it the law of the first deal. And he says specifically in multifamily, a lot of times it's so difficult to get your first deal. But when you do, a second and a third and a fourth often happen in rapid succession, because all the pieces you had to put in place to get that very first one, you only have to do it one time. And that's so true. You have to kind of get your finances in order to be able to present to a bank to say you should lend to me on this. Now they're underwriting the property. You still need to be a good borrower. So people kind of say sometimes, oh, they only care about the property. No, they need you to be a good borrower. They want you to have some liquidity. They want you to have, to show some income. That's helpful. So you get that stuff in order. I worked with a property management company. So I partnered with my property management company. Attorneys put all the paperwork together. We didn't syndicate that one. We just did a joint venture. So, simpler back then. Just one partner who brought the money and we split 50-50. So a nice, easy way to get into some multifamily. We got an inspector, so once you get through those steps, it's like, I ran this play. I know how to run this play now. I'll just run the play again. And so Mark even told me, he's like, you're not going to need me on the next one. And I didn't. And it happened just like Michael Wong said, is like, actually the day we were closing on that 16 unit, I put an offer in on an 8 unit. And then like a month or month and a half later, I got a 10 unit. So we got 34 units pretty quickly using third-party property management all the time, just doing joint ventures on those. I'm still working full time, but I was really running kind of as the GC, because these were heavy value adds. So I was doing all that. And so I really spent basically a whole year from the fall of 2019 to the fall of 2020, working full time, turning these properties around. Meanwhile, COVID happens. The COVID stimulus boom starts. Government starts injecting liquidity. So people like me that own assets do really well. And all of these, some of it was the work we put in. Most of it was the COVID stimulus boom. They all almost doubled. So Well, my goal at the time, a lot of people probably know about this goal and maybe have it themselves, was to get enough rentals where the income from my rental portfolio replaced my income, or at least, because again, our income was always more than we spent.
Yes.
At least covered expenses. I was probably halfway there. So that portfolio, again, I own 50% of all of them, 55 of one, splitting kind of with my money partner, my in-laws, my parents, buddy from church.
Okay.
Our income at the time was probably 30,000. Today it would be significantly more because this was before rents were jumping much higher, but that's okay. But at the time it was like 30. So that, and again, my expenses are a lot higher today because of inflation. But at the time I was like halfway there to covering my expenses.
Wow.
Our mortgage is very low. We bought in 2012. Good time to buy.
Yes.
So I was halfway there. I did not want to wait another year to quit. So we had a ton of equity already in those properties by that time.
Oh.
So I told my wife, hey, let's pray about this, but I want to sell the entire portfolio, take all the equity, put it in our bank account, and that's our cushion. That's our runway for me to go full time, because it was enough for us to live for like 4 or 5 years. That's how much it was. Again, off 60 a year, we could live for like 4 or 5 years off of that amount. And so I said, worst case scenario, 2 to 3 years from now, we've blown through most of this, and I have to go back to work as a physical therapist. I'm going to be able to find a job. She's a nurse. Yep. By this time, actually, she had quit totally because she was staying home with the kids. We homeschool.
Yep.
So she was home with them, but she could go back if she had to, be an RN, right? So it's like the downside risk is not that bad. That's our downside risk. So she agreed to that, sold the whole portfolio at the end of 2020, put it on her savings. I quit at the end of 2020, December 2nd or 3rd of 2020, jumped all in. And then by 2021, I said, I want to do more of this, but I want to get bigger properties, which means more investors. And that's all a syndication is. A syndication just says, instead of going and partnering with 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 people and just saying, hey, we're all equal partners, we're all doing this together. Now it's me going to 20 people, 40 people and saying, I'm doing all the work. You're just coming in as investors. That's what a syndication is. That's the difference. And so I said, I want to do bigger properties, which means we're going to have to raise more money, which means we're going to bring in more investors. And that's what I want to do because I want to build a business around this. I want to have investors. I want to get big properties. I want to have sophisticated property management and scale this thing. We started doing that in 2021 and it's just compounded. It's just taken off beyond, honestly, my wildest dreams, and I'm a wild dreamer. It's really taken off. And there's stories and not along the way, but that's really kind of how we got to where we are today, really.
One of the things that really impressed me about what you were just talking about there, Lee, is as you got started in real estate, you got a duplex, you then got a 10 unit, and then it was an 8 unit, right? If I remember correctly. You had this taste of success and things were going pretty well. I think most people in those shoes would have been so grateful for the success you had, they would have been scared to sell that portfolio to try to go to the next level. But you had the confidence to take your starting success and say, I know we can do better. Let's go ahead and take the win of the appreciation. Let's sell it. Let's put some cash in the bank and let's swing for the fences here. What gave you that confidence to be able to walk away from your preliminary success in hopes of greater future success?
There's probably a couple things in there, Will, but honestly, some of it is that's just how God created me. Some of it is I'm a gambler. So I always want to be challenged. I always want to take the next step. I always want to do the next exciting thing. So it can be dangerous. You do have to be careful with it because some people, and I could be in this category where I take that next step, I take that next risk, and then I take a big step back because I lose a lot. So you do want to be careful. It's not to say like, oh man, if you just had the confidence, you could do so much for me. There's push and pull on that because what you just said, my wife would constantly say like, why can you never let me get comfortable? Is the way she would say like, why can't we do another duplex? Like I got comfortable doing a duplex. Why can't we just do another duplex? And for me, it was like, well, again, I did have in my mind a vision. So that, I think that is one piece of it, and a lot of guys talk about get a vision together, put a vision board. And I'm not as tangible with it, but I've known, again, almost while I was flipping a house and like listening to these podcasts, like I knew I wanted to get into bigger multifamily. That made sense to me. I thought that's the kind of business I want to build. So when you have that vision, when you have success with some small things, like this is great, but like this is my step to the next one. So that's how I always saw it. But a lot of it is like, that's just how I'm built. If you have $10,000 to your name and you sit down to play a game of poker and the buy-in is $1,000, that's a serious game for you.
Yes.
But if you have $100,000, it's not as serious. You might want to play a game where the buy-in is $10,000.
Bigger, yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel now. Not everybody feels that way. But for me, once we kind of got up there, it's like, I don't want to do a duplex again. Another like once we got the 16 unit lease, I was like, well, I wouldn't even look at a duplex or quad. Like I'm up here now. Like I don't want to stay this big or go even bigger. It's just a little bit of how I'm wired. I just have like this huge vision. I mean, if you want to, I kind of want to like have $1 billion business someday. And I don't really have a lot of reason behind that other than like, I just never want to stop growing. So that seems like a number that will allow me to never stop growing because I enjoy the game so much. This is kind of playing Monopoly in real life and you don't ever have to stop. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't. Different people are built different, but like for me, I don't ever see myself stopping because I just really enjoy the game. Yeah. So the more we do, the more we'll be able to do. That's the only way I kind of look at it.
In the community of Beyond 40 and just getting started, I talk about pursuing false peaks and not letting your false peak become your identity. Take a minute to start a path, realize that there's a skill set you're gonna get from that path. Maybe you get to the summit, maybe you don't, but you don't have to be committed to that peak and saying that's my identity. Yeah. It seems like one of the errors we make in the employee pool is that we think our work is who we are. Whereas when you're in the prosperity pool, when you're creating and you're building and you're pursuing the Monopoly game that you want to pursue, you're able to say this route was good for this far, but I'm ready to make a left turn.
Yeah.
It's time for me to grow into something else.
Yep.
In the story that you've been talking about, it seems like something that holds back a lot of people from taking their audacious step is how do I fund not only my personal life, but the endeavor I'm going to do. You talked about being able to get some of your initial funds from friends and family, and then later on you talked about syndicating. Can you walk us through a little bit some of your lessons learned in pursuing external investment?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when we started, I mean, I did have some close family members, some close friends that were interested in investing with me. And the key there is, hopefully you have trust with your family and some close friends. And then if some of them have money, the more you're talking about it. And we had a successful flip and then we had a successful duplex. And so we got the next one and my in-laws were like, hey, we've got some cash sitting in the bank account. Like we've seen, not only did they trust me as their son-in-law and trust my wife that like we're gonna have, but they saw us do a little bit. They saw us put our own money at risk, work our butts off to make money, to make it work out. And they were like, we'll bet on that. Everybody's got somebody in their life. And what it really takes is one, I think, putting your own money at risk first and developing some type of track record. Now, if you say, well, I have no money. Okay, well, maybe you're partnering with somebody the first time. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Don't want to get into all that, but like, I think you need to have typically some type of track record. Now, sometimes your track record is you're a stud at your company and there's people at your company that would go, I know how you work. Like, I know you're going to figure this out. I'll bet on you. And they'll invest in you. So it's typically that close circle that says, I'm willing to bet on you. And it's a track record of some sort. For me, I mean, I definitely had a track record with my family and close friends that said like, I know Lee works his butt off. So I know he's going to like just stay in this until it gets done. And I know he's a person of integrity. So you need that track record. But then ideally, maybe you build a little bit of a track record in real estate yourself, and then people would want to invest in you. And then as that gets bigger, I mean, as you go further out away from your circle of people, like your close network, as you extend that, the track record becomes more important because these are people that don't know you as well to just bet on your character, your integrity, your work ethic, things like that, because they don't know that about you. So they're going to want to see more of a track record. So that's why I think, you start small, you start maybe even with your own money, then maybe you get close family and friends, and then maybe a little bit further out. I mean, kind of my next investors were some people at church that knew me pretty well. Okay. We're kind of part of the same community and wanted to invest. Some people at the RIA were some of the first ones. Those are warm leads, because they want to invest in real estate. That's why they're there. Yeah. And then they go, okay, well, I haven't been able to find a deal. Well, Lee's got a deal. Well, I'm in the group that Mark taught him how to underwrite. I trust Mark. Mark's partnered with him on his first deal. Now he's doing his second or whatever. Yeah. Like, I'll get in with him. You see, like, yes. So as you extend it, you need more of a track record for those people to buy in. And as you're extending it, you're gaining more of a track record. So the more we've gone out the more we've had a track record. And that's how I've done it. I've not really, I don't have a ton of investors from all over the country that saw me on Instagram. When you do well, if you sell or refinance, then you get money back. Those people are very likely to reinvest with you. So that's how we've been able to build up the capital raising capability.
Okay. So in recent years, you have brought property management in-house. And now I'm curious, you mentioned earlier that you liked the game. You want to continue playing the game. You want to keep growing your business. What do you see as your next level up? Is it just more units? Is it bigger units? Or is there some new addition onto the game that you want to play?
It really is more of the same as far as what we want to purchase. We purchased a 415 unit portfolio. So I don't plan to get much bigger than that. You know, I'd do that deal again in a heartbeat. Yeah, it's not about getting bigger at this point, like doing bigger deals at this point. That 415 units was still only 18.5 million because we bought it so cheap. So I could see us doing $50 million, $100 million, $200 million deals someday. So that's part of it. But really right now, Will, what I'm really excited about is we're getting to a point with our scale where we can hire a couple more important internal pieces, what I would call internal. So every property we buy, we're typically trying to buy 100 units at a time because we like to put people on site. Okay. Because we've been buying kind of further out. The competition in like the primary markets to me has kind of priced us out. So we're buying in very tertiary markets. If you're going to do that, to me, the way the way our property management company works, I want it to be at least 100 units so I can hire a property manager and a maintenance tech and they'll be there managing it for us. So it's not like us trying to run people out there. That part we'll just keep doing. Like we're just going to keep trying to find 100 plus units in these different markets. We're in Indiana now. So in Ohio and Indiana, we might go to Kentucky. You know, Cincinnati's considered the tri-state area because we're so close to Indiana and Kentucky, we border them. So we'll kind of keep just buying more of the same properties, more of the same areas. The scale is fun because the more properties you own closer together, you can operate them more efficiently. You start to get buying power. I mean, the more stuff you buy from Home Depot and Lowe's or Menards, wherever you go, like you truly do get better pricing. I mean, it really ends up helping you a lot. I'm excited about the scale and what it can do for every property. It's going to benefit every property, which means it's going to benefit every investor. So that's exciting. But as we build that scale, the property management fees, what that allows us to do is to hire some internal pieces. Because the properties pay for the on-site staff. And then on top of that, we take a property management fee. And there's a lot of expenses that go into that, but most of that goes toward what I call our internal staff. So we actually just recently hired an accountant. It is going to kind of hopefully grow into a role of a controller. And I'm so excited for what that's going to do, not only to improve our finance department, improve our accounting and all that, but help us become better, help me become a better buyer of real estate, like this person on my team that can really inform my decisions even better. I'm still kind of at the top of our property management company. I'm not the best person for that. So my next hire that I'm really excited about is to find somebody that would really run our property management company. I know they're going to do a much better job than I would. That's awesome for our properties and our investors and everybody, you know, because our properties are going to be run better. They're going to be more profitable. So it's great for everybody. It's also great for me because I don't want to do that stuff. So I will enjoy being in meetings with that person so they can tell me everything that's going on. And I can tell them, hey, does that fit with the vision? Or, you know, these kind of things. They're handling all the day to day.
Yes.
That excites me, Will, because now I can focus on the few things that I'm good at and I enjoy. And this is why I've always been excited. Like I said, from the very beginning, I knew I wanted to build a business. And this is what it comes down to. When you have a business, the idea is that you really focus on a few things. You're not a solopreneur that has a 100 unit portfolio or a 50 unit portfolio and you're doing everything with a property manager and a maintenance tech and you kind of just manage it. That's fine. People can do really, really well like that. You can make a couple $100,000 a year and sit on a beach and manage them from your computer on a 50 unit portfolio that you have paid off or most of it, whatever. You can do awesome, but that's not building a business like I wanted to build. You're still gonna have to wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things, you know. So that's what I'm excited about. We're getting there. We're getting there where I can really kind of just be the CEO, be the vision, you know, cast the vision, you know, kind of be over things. I enjoy finding the properties. That's my favorite thing, is like pushing the business forward. What's the next property? I do the underwriting. I won't be giving that up anytime soon. I like doing that. Get out on the properties, putting the plan together, bringing the lenders, bringing the investors, just putting the deal together. Okay. But I'm excited to have a better team to then hand it off to, where I'm still directing, but I'm not involved day to day. So that's really kind of the next step, is just really just get better, continue buying, but there's not like we want 200 units at a time instead of 100. We're still largely buy a lot of the same deals.
Interesting. As you were talking, I was thinking about how passionate you are and how excited you are about the vision of having a team that can be a sustainable business that doesn't depend on you for every decision to be made. I'm thinking about your excitement about the future. It seems to me like a lot of people who feel the bug to want to do something, but haven't quite made that step out of the employee pool yet. Mostly it's them being held back by fear of failure, fear of it not working out the way they had hoped it would or had envisioned it would.
Yeah.
Can you speak to the audience for a minute about, is it worth it? Is it worth taking on the risk and taking on the fear and knowing there's going to be mistakes? Do the wins outweigh the losses and the risks?
Short answer for me, 100% it has. I mean, even my wife, who was not interested in getting into real estate at all, and honestly, for the first couple, even few years, was kind of kicking and screaming most of the time. You know, again, we were doing fine, but was just pretty resistant to it. Would say we're kind of living the life of our dreams in a lot of ways. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have plenty of challenges, and I'm still working very hard. And honestly, one thing, we still don't get a lot of cash flow. That's one thing about syndication that's different than being a solopreneur and doing it yourself and kind of just doing joint ventures and trying to do your own deals. You get to keep a lot of the cash flow, or all the cash flow. You kind of do stuff. When we do a syndication, our investors get almost all, if not all, of the cash flow. So we're still building up to where we really get great cash flow. But with acquisition fees that we do, with some of the properties we've sold, with the way we've been able to invest in our own, and some of the properties that are spitting off cash flow now, now that we've been in it for a while, we just have so much freedom. We both work for ourselves. My wife works in the business. We truly can do whatever we want to do. I mean, I can do whatever I want today. I mean, there's times that we got an offer accepted on a property. So there's some things I need to do to do that loan. But if I want to do it tomorrow, I can do it tomorrow. I don't have to do it today. If my wife says can you, I homeschooled my son this morning. So I didn't leave until a certain time. And is it worth it? Yeah. I mean, I couldn't do so many of those things. We can, when it comes to us deciding when to take a vacation, it's around the kids' school, which we do a hybrid homeschool program. So they're in school a couple days a week. So we have a lot of flexibility in that, but we're not asking anybody else, it truly is just, we can go wherever, whenever we want. I mean, we've come out your way 2 years ago. We came out your way. We did all the national parks out in Arizona and Utah. And, it was a 3-week trip, and we didn't ask anybody to do that. Last year we did Yellowstone Glacier and all those, and we're deciding for ourselves when we're going to go do that. So I think it's completely worth it, but it's very different. What I would say, I've got this chart, and if people are watching, they can kind of see my arms, but what that graph looks like over time is a linear line where ideally, hopefully, your income, or if you want to look at it your net worth or your savings or whatever, your nest egg, you're hoping it just slowly climbs over time. What I have found is that if you try to go and do what I do, even if it's not in real estate, if it's building a business, I think it's kind of always like this. You've got this slowly climbing linear line. If you go the route I went, it's going to be sideways. It's not going to grow. It's growing minimally for years, at least a few.
Yep.
So you will be behind your friends that stayed at the job that you left. They're going to be making more money than you. And you may be working harder than them for a few years. That's hard. So I don't know that that's for everybody. Maybe it's not as much like that if you don't do it like I did now. Because you could say, well, Lee, I'm staying on the employee line. That's good. Okay, so do that. So then you can be building this thing that's moving sideways while you're still in that line. But then if you jump at some point to go all in, you've got a chance to climb the exponential growth curve. And that thing takes off well past everybody on the employee pool. It's infinite. I mean, it goes to numbers that are silly. And that's, Hannah and I truly are on that path now. Again, cash flow is still, we're still getting there, because the cash flow for us will come when we start refinancing properties, because when we return our investors money, now we split the cash flow because they've gotten their money back.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. But when I see, we own a lot. We own on average a third of all of our properties. Okay. So the equity that's there, the net worth, the cash flow is coming. We're seeing that hockey stick growth. But it's a long time. It's the one, have you ever heard this riddle or whatever, this thing that you can pose to people where you say $3 million today, or I offered you a penny today, but told you I was going to give you double the amount every day for 30 days. Which would you take? It's just impossible almost for you to imagine getting a penny today, 2 pennies tomorrow, 4 pennies the next day, 8 pennies the next day. How could you ever catch somebody that was given $3 million? Well, after 20 days, you are still so far behind that person. But then it starts going crazy. At day 30, you hit like 5.2 million. But then imagine, I mean, then day 31, you're at 10 million. Day 32, you're 20. Now, it doesn't happen exactly like that, but it's just this point, you almost can't imagine what exponential growth looks like. And exponential growth is doubling. It's not going up by a 3% raise each year. It's doubling. But again, it starts off very slow. Yeah. So that's what I always warn people. To me, if you're getting into entrepreneurship, it is slower and you make less for a period of time. And it's years, not months typically. But can you build the momentum to shoot past everybody in the employee pool? Absolutely. Yeah, but I think you got to stick with it. And so we're there for sure. I mean, we're not big spenders, so we don't have like a ton to prove it because we live in the same house. But we are now looking at buying like a bunch of land that is out of reach for most people that have a job because land is so expensive. We're kind of in a position to actually be able to consider it. That's a long answer. And I want to be honest with people because I do think if you jump in, like, you got to understand like what you're signing up for. It's a long haul. And that's maybe why you do keep the job while you get it started. But then you start seeing some momentum. Like I said, that's kind of what we did. And like, we started to go like this. We started to tick up. We sold that portfolio like, holy smokes, we just jumped. Now we're way ahead of where I would have been at that job. Okay, why don't we quit? Because at that point, well, I'm like, I'm now penalizing myself staying on this linear line because I could be up here growing this exponential growth. And then that's when we decided, let's jump on that one. Let's get on that growth curve.
Lee, you have an amazing story. You're obviously a thoughtful person. You're intentional about your choices. You are building something very impressive and very amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story with Escaping Ordinary.
Sure.
And remember, everybody, ordinary is optional. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.